friend of mine named Lorenzo Swank had been kind of working through high school and the beginning of college in information technology for Budget Rent-A-Car. They had a network that spanned 3 states and just needed to keep all these terminals up to be able to rent cars. And so we did that for a little while, and while we were doing that, we were in school. Both of us have always been involved with computers and have enjoyed it. So we got into IT, and that was kind of the place we were going to be until we got through college. But at some point while we were working in IT, discovered that it kind of wasn't our thing. It was maintaining something rather than building something new. And both of us had always liked to write code and create new things, create new products, create things that people would actually like to have and use. We really focused on user interfacing and making things that were easy to use. When the iPhone came out, I had a little brother that picked one up for the original price of $600, which I thought was ridiculous. But he brought it home and actually used it, and I was like, this thing's really cool. And there was a little space at the bottom that you would imagine 4 more icons being. The original iPhone, you couldn't install any third-party software. So got involved with a group that was hacking the iPhone to be able to install third-party software. And because of the nature of the programming language they use for the iPhone, you can actually build documentation for all of the interfaces you need to be able to build software. So built inside the iPhone is this system that tells you information about it. With that system, we were able to work with other people online to be able to create third-party applications for the iPhone. So we decided to build 2 open source projects that would kind of contribute to the rest of the program. One was just a simple Tetris game. Lorenzo headed that one up, called it Mobile Tetris. And I built a file browser to be able to store and manipulate files on your phone, as well as give you the ability to launch more than the original 16 programs that were shown on the first screen. You could load multiple programs that way. Well, these 2 products became very, very popular. Mobile Tetris actually had about 1 million downloads by the end because it was free. As for the file browser, which was originally called Mobile Finder, Finder is the file browser on the Mac operating system. It was utilized by people for lots and lots of different purposes, to be able to store files, keep files around. And it ended out with nearly 2 million downloads. When we saw these download numbers, we knew that we really had something. These were 2 of the most popular applications, even of all of the third-party applications available on these open source projects. So when Apple announced that they were going to actually support an app store, which we had hoped would be true despite Steve Jobs saying that he was not going to be doing such a thing, we decided that our IT work days were done. Put in a month's notice and just decided we were going to start developing for the platform from the get-go. So we were given the tools by Apple and were able to work with those tools for about 3 months before the store actually came out. And we had 3 of the original 300 applications that came out when the App Store was launched. Lorenzo wrote a product called Autonomous, which is similar to a trading game available on the Palm that we had played when we were younger. And I built a small game called Jazzball, based on a simple puzzle game, I guess you could call it a puzzle game, from the Windows 95 Plus pack that I'd always enjoyed. And it was a simple game. We wanted to choose these kind of more simple things to start with as a pilot. We also wrote a simple abacus program that really was the test. We put it up on the store, and I happened to be on a family vacation at Disneyland when the store actually opened up. So while everybody else was off playing with whatever they have at Disneyland, I was just kind of standing around looking at the popularity lists for all the software that was being downloaded. It was kind of a big deal. There was no way to tell how many applications were being downloaded originally, and it's a very exciting thing. We could see that our popularity was quite good for the products that we put out, and when we actually did get the sales numbers, we were very pleasantly surprised. From the very beginning, we knew that we wanted all of our software to be internationalized, and that was a very important decision we made. I served an LDS mission in Brazil and speak Portuguese, and my business partner Lorenzo also served an LDS mission in Korea. So we're very aware of what the international markets are People don't speak English out of the United States. It's a very important concept to understand. So all of our applications were eventually localized into 10 different languages. And from the get-go, right when we put out many of our applications, they were already localized. And that was a decision that really was going to make or break our company, which we didn't know at the time. Almost 80% of our earnings are from international markets, people who do not speak English. There were some things that we knew that from a business standpoint needed to be done. The selection of which applications that you write, how quickly you write them, the resources that you utilize in order to put those applications together, the marketing, making sure that your applications are well supported with a website, support email, and have compelling language that are surrounding them along with their screenshots are, of course, very important decisions, and were kind of things based on sales, and we knew we were going to be important, so we put some resources into that. But things like localization, we just knew that was something we wanted and needed to do. Pixio now has 8 coders and some support staff that work in the company. We're still actually we're running without an office. We do have weekly meetings, but we don't have a physical presence anywhere in the valley, despite the fact that we could easily have one at this point. All of our programmers are still students. They're getting their degrees. And then giving them the ability to work wherever they are has worked out quite well. We support our own products as well as build products for other companies on a contract basis. We're able to work with some very large companies all around the United States, as well as we are opening up discussions with several international businesses, particularly in Korea. We did not go out and seek a bunch of capital. We used our own sweat labor to start that one out. In fact, we still are debt-free. So eventually we may move into some larger applications that will require some venture capital, but we are the masters of our own dominion. We also focused on high code quality and maintainability. We knew that we wanted our company to live longer than a year or two. So make sure that you build code bases that when you look at them in 3 years, you're going to be able to maintain them. You've got to have good commenting, you've got to make sure they're very high quality and they're well factored. Documentation of your own code bases is important, even if you're making documentation for you that you will read later. So those were good things that worked. Things that were difficult for us are mostly on the marketing side. Mobile Finder, which became Mobile Studio on the official market, it was actually our 4th application, did extremely well. We were getting just staggering sales numbers. And we consulted with a few experts in other areas and talked about different ways to market these applications, and they suggested that we play with the price point of our application. We increased the price for the product without supplying features along with that. We were continually updating Mobile Studio, and the price increase was associated with a feature update, but the consumers did definitely not see it that way. They didn't see us as playing with the price point, trying to see where our niche is. They jumped ship, many of them, and went over to competing products that were emerging right at that time. I would encourage anyone that wants to get into building their own business to just do it. People make mistakes and things don't work, and that's how you build successful businesses, is by failing a few times. It's a cliche, but it's absolutely 100% true. Most of the things that we have gone into have succeeded. There are a few failures that I've gone through in the past. Pick yourself up and move on. There's nothing like the genius of simply getting something started.